Hello, my name is Sabrina Cinder and my film is titled Backstabber. It is a teenage horror film revolving around four girls having a picnic in a park and the panic that ensues when one of them goes missing. Throughout the course of this film, my group and I utilized existing conventions for the horror genre and stayed within these conventions. The horror genre is filled with conventions such as plot twists, betrayal between characters, the unknown, and the incitement of fear. Usually, horror films are set in bleak, gloomy, desolate locations that are isolated from the rest of the world. To achieve this setting, we filmed our project in a tucked-away, isolated corner of a nearby park that had a picnic table and dense forested surroundings, making for a creepy and enclosed location. Not only was this location isolated, but it also had a bleak and gloomy color scheme at the start, and some of the surrounding plants and trees were dead, emphasizing the blandness and grimness of the area. Our film followed a linear narrative, and events were shown chronologically in a cause and effect format. Our narrative conflict was man versus man and involved one friend betraying her friend by killing her in cold blood, fulfilling the betrayal between characters convention for the horror genre. There was a large plot twist in the introduction of this film when the dead body of Mia, the friend who was killed, is shown to the audience, revealing what has happened and how she is not, in fact, in the bathroom, as well as why she has gone missing and has not returned. My group and I decided to incorporate this wide, aerial, clean, single, static shot of Mia's dead body at the end of the film to clue the audience in on what exactly happened. During the three remaining girls' search for Mia, they experienced feelings of terrifying blankness and wonder as they have no idea what has happened to Mia and start to become seriously worried about her. We emphasized these feelings of severe and horrifying worry by including scenes where the three girls were desperately calling out Mia's name, hoping that she would answer their cries. Regarding our use of conventions, I feel strongly that we succeeded in following the conventions of the horror genre as we incorporated the usual plot points of a horror film. Now, for representation, we deliberately casted a fun-loving, happy, close-knit group of female teenagers. They dressed up in modern, casual, comfortable teenage clothes and wore light makeup or no makeup to reflect the easy casualness of their picnic in the park. We told our cast to act differently during different parts of the film. For example, while the girls were eating their picnic snacks and conversing with each other, we told them to laugh loudly and boundlessly and to act as if they were truly enjoying themselves together in their close, tightly knit friend group. In this way, we used sound to portray enjoyment and bliss among the friend group. During other scenes, we strived to portray a more serious and emotional tone, like when Mia went missing and the other girls were seriously concerned about her whereabouts. We achieved this several times. However, during some of these more serious scenes, we maintained the lighthearted and funny mood found earlier in the film and thus found ourselves not fully committing to the serious tone, laughing and giggling during these scenes. For example, here, as you can see, the girls are laughing while crying out for Mia, not properly portraying the serious tone that this situation required. This was a simple fix, as we simply reshot these scenes and acted them out in much more serious, convincing, and realistic ways. However, for one character, Georgiana, the girl who arrived late to the picnic, we did not reshoot her scene where she was crying out for Mia and was slightly laughing, just like the other girls were in our earlier takes. This is because Georgiana is the betrayer and backstabber, and she is the one who killed Mia. As a result, it makes perfect sense that she would have a slight smile/smirk on her face when calling out for Mia, as she knows exactly what has happened to her. Our target audience for this film is teenagers between the ages of 13 to 18, as our cast features teenagers and centers around teenager themes of friendship and girlhood. We engaged our target audience with our story by clearly showing the close bonds between the girls in the friend group. We used many master eye-level 3 shots to show the connection between the girls as they sit at their picnic table. We also utilized many over-the-shoulder shots during the girls' conversations to move fluidly from one speaker to the next. Regarding our sound use, we used loads of conversational and friendly dialogue that puts the girls' tightly knit friendship on display. Regarding our distribution, this film could either be streamed or have a theatrical release. Both options would garner similarly fun and exciting responses. To target my audience, I would create profiles on social media sites that many teenagers use, such as TikTok and Instagram, to get people to start talking about it and waiting for its release. The production company that I would like to work with is Warner Bros. Looking at their produced movies, it is evident that they produce lots for the teenage audience in different genres, such as superhero, sci-fi, drama, action, and horror. Warner Brothers producing our teenage horror film would thus make perfect sense. I would feel ecstatic to work with them as they have produced a plethora of popular, well-grossing, and extremely well-done films. Throughout this project, I watched my production skills vastly blossom and grow. When I began this course, my directing and acting were mediocre and I was having trouble brainstorming ideas for a possible film. However, when I began working with my group and when we collaborated together to form and execute ideas for our film, I found myself becoming much better at directing, acting, and brainstorming ideas. For example, I suggested the idea of an insert shot right here showing the scary text that pops up on Mia's phone, startling her. As a result of my suggestion, we implemented this insert shot into our film, a decision that definitely elevated our plot. Additionally, during the first few scenes where all the girls are sitting at their picnic table, I directed the acting of myself and my group mates, giving pointers on how to make our conversation seem more real and natural, just like a conversation between girls in any normal friend group. This scene is one example of that, where my group mate and I improvised our subject of conversation, using our acting skills to make it sound as if we were gossiping about someone or something, just like many normal friend groups do. Now that this final project is done, I have become much more proficient in my directing, acting, and brainstorming skills. For this project, we used an iPhone 13 to film all scenes. It was very effective and had a great quality camera. I did not edit this film, but my group's editor, Mia, used CapCut to edit the film and add sound to it. The use of sound was very effective in conveying genre and narrative to the audience. The spooky soundtrack unfolding through the first half of the introduction lets the audience know that this is a horror film, and the use of a heart-pumping soundtrack here conveys feelings of anticipation to the audience. Additionally, we used natural lighting, scheduling our filming times to match the sunset so that we could film when the sky was darkening, creating a sense of fear as it became night. This helps establish genre because a popular horror movie convention is when terrifying things occur in the deep, dark dead of night. All in all, I am so proud of this film and I had a blast taking part in it with my fellow group members.